Hey there, what's good? This is Brittany Sunshine, and I really quickly wanted to make sure to get this video out. I intended to do a longer form version, and maybe I still will, but for now, I just want to drop the principles and leave it with you and allow you to run with it should it resonate with your spirit. So over the weekend, and I'm getting chills as I'm speaking, so I think that we're on to something here. So depending on what you, okay, I'm just gonna try and explain it. This weekend, I was given the idea by the divine, like not a person, but I was nudged to, hey, you should write like a living eulogy where you write about yourself and your life as if it were from the end, and include everything that you would want it to say. So like Brittany, was a beloved mother, and this and this and this, and it kind of almost sounds a little bit morbid, but when you understand the revision technique, quantum physics, the observer effect, reality surfing, and scripting, write the vision, make it plain so that those who read it may run it well. When we understand that the electrons are awaiting the revelation that the same spirit of life that what is there is here, and when we understand that time is not linear but rather spherical, and therefore reality surfing tells us, quantum physics, we know that there's like a million billion possible timelines that are all active and happening now, and it's a matter of just like a radio station which one you are tuned to. And then with the revelation that free will allows us to jump timelines, like vibrations, like radio vibes, like sometimes we can maintain that high vibe and then something happens and it knocks us down a peg and now we're on a different vibration, and then we do some things in our body and in our mind and connect with the earth and get in a body of water and do a little fast, whatever, like all of these different methods and modes to tweak the frequency. Okay, so when we bring all of this information together and realize that we really have a lot more impact over the future and therefore the past, because time is not linear, it's spherical, and it's wild. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I read that book on SeedSoilWater YouTube, so check out the playlist if you'd like to hear more about the story. But the long story short is that they did a case study, and they had two groups of people like pray over, or how did it work? Like they had a group of people pray over a certain list, and then like the other list wasn't prayed for, but it turns out that it was actually from the past. So they sent prayers to the past, not unknowing that it was the past. And yet the same names that were prayed for in this time right now were the ones that healed from the past. There are other stories like the Ho'oponopono. I apologize. But that's I love you. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Like, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I think are the 4 phrases. But that Ho'opono, I apologize. But anyway, that whole practice had to do with a story where the guy started going in and kind of like interceding via the person. And it was all these ratty people that were in a mental hospital of sorts, and they just could not get this place to be in peace mode. And this guy started like pretty much quantum intercessing over these people, and it like created peace. Okay, so there's so many different random stories, and we're learning more about this as we go. All that being said, if you come this idea that came to me, first of all, the key to the writing of the eulogy is that you're going to write your name. So it's kind of like third person, because there's something about that where it programs your timeline when you write to your and also when you hear yourself say your name, there's something about it. Okay, so I know that we have been, and like, by the way, I'm also starting to pay attention to everything that they punked us out culturally. Like, for example, if they punked us out, think about like in the programming through TV shows, if you were to like, they always like made the loser kid the one that was like zoning out in class. Well, they were probably in flow state, but they don't want us to be in flow state, so they made us be like, oh, that idiot isn't paying attention, what a loser, blah blah blah. Okay. Another one that they did was, oh, isn't this funny? I'm like all of a sudden not remembering, but I know there are so many. Talking to yourself. You know, how many of us actually as praying people, or especially if you have a divine language, like I'm sitting here speaking my divine language constantly because I am transmuting, I'm listening, I'm receiving, I'm downloading, and then I'm, you know, so like that whole idea of like talking to yourself made you a crazy kook. But nowadays we have like earbuds, and there's a lot of reasons somebody could be talking to themselves, so I feel like that one kind of has become like obsolete. But that was another one. What's another one? Just the ways that they would try and punk out. Oh yeah, the whole talking in third person. Like, oh, you're so arrogant. You're such a like hoity-toity. You talk in third person. What an idiot. But turns out it's very effective in reality transformation, in like life creation, life transformation, to script and to declare things about yourself in third person. Okay. So pay attention to the ways that they've tried to punk us out of these universal principles. So write a eulogy about yourself, a living eulogy, okay? And imagine it. So the whole point of it is like, what would you want to be said, you know, like upon your passing? What would be the things that would matter to you? This is going to help tune up and align up your values. Like, what really matters? You know, what do you want to be said at your funeral? What at the end of it all is actually going to matter? Like, and I know mine, and right now I'm not sure that I should be saying them all out loud. Sometimes, you know, we have spirits listening and evil eye and whatnot. So I'm going to, this is probably why I've stalled doing this video, because I didn't have clarity yet on if I should share exactly what I said or what I write. But I want to also write a template up for you. I have the best of intentions all the time in providing more useful tools for the collective, and sometimes they come through and sometimes they're a little bit delayed. So check the description box below for either a link to another video or a doc that I will hopefully create soon and link with this, where it could be kind of like a template and some idea cues for like what to include in your living eulogy. But just some quick like ideas would be, what do you want it to say about you in terms of relationship, in terms of your life's purpose, your life's work, like how did it go, you know, like, and because you can really start to point your life in a specific trajectory. And I think that this was given to me as a way to share with the collective also, so that we can really hone in on what actually matters. So write a living eulogy, write your name in third person, write the values that actually matter to you. Like, what did your life have, like what is going to be said about you that actually matters. And then also I was hearing like you know, you can even include some revision technique, and maybe you don't know the specifics of how it's going to go, but like you can say something along the lines of like, even though this started out like this, miraculously da 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 da. And maybe you don't even know what the miraculous, but you could even just leave it as vague as like, but then the divine stepped in and miraculously created a beautiful ending where all were loved and cared for and blah, 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 whatever it might be, okay? So anyway, I hope that this reaches, I manifest that this will reach whoever it's meant for. I pray that it blesses you, and let your light shine, and be blessed, be well, be free.